guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a what they don't tell you about university video. I thought this would be really useful and it would have helped me really decide, like, do I want to go to uni? Is it the right place for me? And so hopefully the things that I read out on my list, the list here, are going to help you if you're in that decision, like before going to university, or if you're at university and you're just like, yeah, relate, or actually no, my experience is completely different. Just let me know in the comments. And this is based on UK university. So thing number one is you have way more time on your hands. I know this depends with like what degrees you study, but so I do politics and history and I take German as my elective, and even with an elective, you just have time. Like this semester, so I'm in second year. This semester, I'm in 3 days a week. And on Tuesday, I'm very busy, but like Wednesday and Friday, I have like 1 or 2 classes maximum per day. So you have so much time, like 4 days off and 3 days on, and even those 3 days are not full days. So that's kind of like an understanding of what it's like in second year for me. And in first year, it was the same. Like nothing's been added this year. So yeah, I completely understand different degrees have different contact hours. You should definitely look at that before you come, like, what are my contact hours? With that, having more time in your hands can mean that you can be as sociable as you want and also as isolated as you want. Some people will thrive in these situations and some people will find it really tough not having someone to say, do this each day. I need to see you at this time and this time. Make sure you're in the library, make sure like you're having dinner at this time. Like, it's just not like that. You're so free. It works for some people and for some people it definitely doesn't. So that's just good to know. Second point is student finance is not enough. And the base amount that everyone can apply for is £4,000 a year, which is like, you will not survive a 4K. So either like your parents have to sustain you, or if you're eligible, you can get up to, I think, like 8,700, and then you can get more if you're living in London, if you're studying in London. So yeah, it's just good to know, because I had to get a job in first year, and in next semester I'm definitely getting a job again. It's just helpful. So it's good to know that actually, I mean, people say like uni, you're on a budget and it's tight, but like you're really on a budget. So yeah, just think about like how independent you are and how ready you are to sort of live off less. I know like it's not the same for everyone, but I'm just sort of saying like most people feel like money is tight at various points of the year at uni. Definitely, like way more than you do at home, I'm pretty sure. Number 3 is teachers don't baby you. And as I said, like this whole video is going to be like, this is great for me, or this is terrible for me. You're so independent at uni in the sense that no one's going to tell you, you have to make my class, you have to make my lectures especially. No one's going to care if you're there. At my uni, we don't sign in lectures, and you just don't have to go if you don't want to. So in first year, I was terrible at going. I remember at school, if you missed class, you'd have meetings with teachers and things like that, and none of that. I know tutorials and seminars are different, and if you're missing those, it's a bit, they might email you, but it's just completely different to in how in secondary school they're on your case, whereas here it's like, you're paying 9,250 a year, like, do what you want to do, you spent the money, it's your investment. Like, it's good to know like how independent you need to prepare yourself to be, or whether like you're just like, that's just not for me. Like, and fair enough, like it's not for everyone. Uni is not for everyone. A fourth thing is, I think this is like, it's gradually becoming like more realized, is your degree is like, it's probably not going to be necessary for the future job you do, and that's okay. But then just think like, would I rather skip the uni route if it's not linking at all, or do I want this uni experience? Do I want to pay however much it's going to cost you by the end of it? There are loads of apprenticeship schemes that are now becoming like a thing. I know like loads of major like banks are doing it, like accounting firms, and because I think it's being realized that actually uni might not give you the skills that you need, and then you're spending 3 to 4 years studying for something that actually, like, you're not gaining the practical skills you need for the job you're going to go into. So that's why there are loads of apprenticeship schemes, because they will fully train you for the role, and some of them you come up with degrees with. So I think it's good to look into that as well. You should think about, the point is, you should think about why you're going to uni in the first place. Like, are you going because your friends are going? Are you going because you have no idea what you want to do and you think uni's going to teach you what you want to do? It's not going to teach you what you want to do. It's not. Like, it will probably confuse you a bit more. See, some people might think it buys you time, and like in a sense it does, but then you might come out of it and think, well, I'm in debt, I still have no idea what I want to do, and I have a degree, but I still, like, what even am I applying for? Like, why did I do this? And that's kind of a position you really don't want to be in. So I would say I did a gap year, actually, and I felt that was really helpful for me to decide what it was I wanted to even study, because I wasn't sure after I finished secondary school. So I think that's a really, just like, it's okay to take a year out, basically, and just figure things out, because don't treat it as like not an investment, because it is. So my next point is moving away is hard, like, and I don't think that was stressed to me enough. So I moved from like London area up to Scotland, and I was like, yeah, like, took a gap year, I traveled and lived abroad, I'm used to being away from home. But when you go to uni, it's like a whole different, like, you've moved out, you're not going on a trip and coming back, you're gone, like, you're away. That was definitely hard for me to get used to. I definitely just felt like even the culture can be different. Like, so obviously I went to Scotland, and that's different from England, so things were just different for me. And I'm sure people who move like even an hour or 2 hours away, it does take a lot of getting used to, and I don't want people to think it's a simple process, it's so easy, I just pack up and go. Like, people, it can be a real big struggle, and for me, it definitely took me like a whole year to feel settled in and like basically at home in Scotland. But it's not like, oh, I'm moving and in 1 month I'm gonna feel great. It doesn't work like that, for most people anyway, and it didn't for me. I mean, for instance, I remember, like, I always tell people that uni is the place where you meet so many strange people, like people that you wouldn't just come across any other time in your life. Like, uni is such like a mixture of people, and they're all just on campus, like they're all in the same place, so it's really crazy. You find yourself in the weirdest of situations, and with that, I think it's very important that you find your community, whether it's you join a society with something you're interested in. For me, it was getting involved in church, and then just like finding like your home there, like your home away from home, like what really makes you feel happy and what really feeds you, pretty much. And yeah, without that, you can just feel very sort of like lonely, I guess, and just out of place and without purpose, and find like what works for you at uni, and find that out as soon as possible. Just try things. Like, there are so many options, and that's the greatest thing about uni. Moving away is not easy, but it gets better, and it is a great experience, I would have to say. But what they didn't tell me is that it was going to be really hard to actually just settle in and feel at home. And my final point is about student accommodation. Student accommodation is disgusting. Like, I know you can get really bougie ones and really like fancy ones, but I just took like your regular one at my uni. Like, wow. I'd never experienced mess and like bacteria and dirt and just like mice the way I have in my, well, the way I had in my first year of uni. It was, oh, like everything, and people just don't clean up. So I was in a flat of 6, which is not that big to be fair, but it was self-catered. So I think like catered ones, you might be in like huge flats, whereas self-catered they might be smaller because you're sharing a kitchen. I don't know. I know some people who've also had way bigger ones with self-catered, so it just depends on your uni. But wow, like no one's cleaning up after you. In fact, we actually had like, we did have cleaners in my first year. Even then, like, I mean, the cleaners just wipe sort of surfaces and it helps, it does help, but tea towels, your fridge, like people are not throwing away like rotten vegetables. Oh, just the bacteria you see, and then like you think you're one, like you're clean, your definition of clean is never the same as somebody else's. So it means some people might be way more clean than you, but it also means some people, you're gonna see people that are like the complete other end of the spectrum, and that's tough. Like, wow. Oh, like, yeah. So just an update on that. Keep your tea towels clean, change your sponges regularly, and just have your own stuff. Like, don't rely on other people's, and don't steal food either, because that's a thing, and you might get your food stolen. You probably will. So yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that I have given you some idea about what uni is really like, and just, you know, I hope I have like given you information about like what you don't know about uni until you basically go there. See you in my next video. Bye.